The incoming permanent golden age. And your part in its inception. Excerpts from letters and instructions of Beloved Maha Chohan and the great host of Ascended Masters. First edition, 1959. Foreword. In order to intelligently cooperate with any plan, divine or human, it is first necessary for the individual to understand something of the nature of that plan. In the incoming golden age, a divine brotherhood combining the energies of the angelic, human, and elemental kingdoms is preordained as the natural expression of unity, harmony, and loving cooperation among evolutions finding hospitality in the Earth's atmosphere. Truly, the time is not far off before the fulfillment of the prophecy, "Eye hath not seen nor ear heard, neither hath it entered into the heart of man, the things God hath prepared for them that love him will be made manifest before all men." Thomas Printz. Dedication. This booklet is lovingly dedicated to the Ascended Master Saint Germain, who as Chohan of the Seventh Ray is eagerly seeking unascended beings to help him bring in the new and permanent golden age on earth. Mankind, imprisoned angels, and elementals too are destined to serve harmoniously together in this golden age. It is our decree that quickly the more astute amongst mankind can and will not only grasp Saint Germain's vision, but through practical service make it fact. Thomas Printz, Editor. Our dear Lord Maha Chohan. Acceptance, blessing, and sanctification of the chart, the Holy Trinity picture. In the name of the Father, God Almighty, Creator of heaven and earth and all things in, upon, and around it. In the name of the divine immortal threefold flame of life within every human being. In the name of the Holy Spirit, whose divine nature it is my responsibility to externalize to the world of man. I do now consecrate, sanctify, and protect this representation of the inseparable connection between God and man and the inevitable destiny of the latter to return to his divinity, the source from whence he came. This chart also has the complete acceptance of the entire spiritual hierarchy. May I suggest that it would be well for all who look upon this chart and who sincerely desire to return more quickly to the Father's house, to earnestly and determinedly endeavor to externalize right here in the physical appearance world the magnificence and perfection of your divine presence which this picture represents. You now have the opportunity so to do. To any and all who will choose to accept my offer, I shall joyously give all the assistance I can to make you express more and more of my comforting presence everywhere you move, so much so that men, women, and children may be able to say of you, "There walks comfort, there does peace abide." This I offer in deepest love, that you may become myself in action, in word, thought, feeling, and deed. Then no longer shall I alone be responsible for expressing the comfort flame across this dear earth, for I am willing to graciously grant this opportunity to you also. The silver cord. Looking at the upper figure on this chart, we see a ray entering the top of the head. This ray of life is known as the silver cord. Look at the form and essence of life, silver cord, as it flows into the individual, which appears like billions of beads of life strung together, making a river of electronic substance, enters your body to fulfill all your requirements, and yet this great river of force flows through you for the most part unclaimed, filling the aura of each day with no constructive effect. The great world of science has said that if they could build machines powerful enough to crush an atom, that from the energy released, one tiny atom would be enough to carry a great ocean liner across the sea. And yet in the course of a second, each one receives into his own heart, Holy Christ Self, unrecognized, many, countless billions of these atoms that pass out into the universe unused, because man has not learned the power that lies within his own life stream. There is only one life that flows through every one of the 10 billions of life streams belonging to the planet Earth. There is no difference between the life that flows through each one any more than there is a difference between the water that flows through the faucets on the main floor or the second of a building. The Father of all life and the Ascended Masters are constantly pouring their peace, their perfection, their mercy, and there will not be one atom on this planet which will not eventually achieve perfection and immortality. Beloved children, life can be beautiful. It is a magic, mystic thing because it is substance of the body of God. It is a conscious emanation of the life of the individual pouring forth constantly into the atmosphere of Earth everywhere. It is the electronic energy of love itself, taking humbly whatever form is required of it by the user at the moment for good or evil, through the use of free will of its receiver. Suggested decree. Beloved Presence of God, I am in me, and beloved Astria, I call upon the law of forgiveness for my wanton use of God's life through the ages. Purify, purify, purify my emotional body so that life can and will flow freely to bless all life. Purify, purify, purify my mental body so that life can and will flow freely to bless all life. Purify, purify, purify my etheric body so that life can and will flow freely to bless all life. Purify, purify, purify my physical body so that life can and will flow freely to bless all life. The causal body. The circles of color around the head of the chart is called the causal body, which is a reservoir or storehouse of all the good created in any embodiment. The beautiful colors of the causal body are representative of the 7 spheres of consciousness, which is the natural aura of the sun of our system, and to a lesser degree is the externalized amount of constructively qualified energy that each life stream is endowed with as it progresses from the pure state of innocence. Each man's aura around the human form is colored according to the qualification of his energy and according to his particular service and use of life. Master Jesus has said, "It were wise that you lay up your stores in heaven." He meant to lay up within the glory of your own causal body, momentums of good that can and shall be used and utilized from time to time. If one is in doubt as to the ray or sphere to which he belongs, he can, through contemplation of his habits and tendencies, find that he is also irresistibly drawn to a certain color, which may be taken as an added confirmation of his affinity with any ray or sphere. Suggested decree. Beloved Presence of God, I am in me and my own beloved Holy Christ Self. Remove the cause and core of all unknown impurities in my life stream and release all the power, gifts, talents, and blessings of my causal body now to bless me and all imprisoned life everywhere. Charge, charge, charge the gifts of my causal body into my world and let them radiate forth now for the blessing of myself and all imprisoned life everywhere. So be it. Tube of light, also known as the mantle of light. The tube of light surrounding the lower or human figure was a natural protection given to every created man and woman as a protection against temptation. But man, given free will by his Creator through willfulness, substituted his own human desires for that of God's. This is what is called the fall of man. This tube of light or mystic ring pass not, of which the ancients spoke, may again be consciously created by the student through the power of visualization, acceptance, decrees, and songs. The natural radiation from within the heart, pouring forth through the physical and inner bodies, forms a golden circlet of fire around the physical body. When the attention is drawn to this indwelling Holy Christ presence, the outpouring of the God light intensifies this circlet until it becomes an actual transmuting force of all discordantly qualified substance and energy, either consciously directed toward a student or through which he must pass in his orderly course of daily living. Suggested decree. Beloved Presence of God, I am in me and my own Holy Christ Self. Help me to recreate and sustain the protective tube of light around me and my loved ones, and to maintain the harmony required to not only sustain, but to expand its perfection this hour. So be it. Violet Transmuting Flame. Mankind, in general, are not yet aware of the fact that while they have fallen from their godly estate and through the gracious love of the Eternal Father, they have never been divested of their creative power. They do not realize that they themselves create every experience, both good and bad, which manifests in their worlds. The sacred fire of purification is a very real and tangible manifestation of God's love and mercy. It is a gentle, though powerful application of God's grace. administered without the agony of suffering, which accounts for the feeling of goodwill and happiness that pervades the world around the Christmas season. It is also responsible for the desire on the part of humankind to make good resolutions around the first of each year, many of which, alas, are soon abandoned in a return to the old ways of the flesh. The violet transmuting flame, the forgiving and raising power of God, had a small beginning in the gentle heart of a soul dedicated to love and mercy long ages ago. Since that time, beloved ones, many great souls realizing its need have poured their life energies into the flame of mercy until now it has assumed cosmic proportions, and the knowledge of its presence has seeped into the outer consciousness of some of mankind through myth and legend in such representations as the river Styx and other fires erroneously called punishment at the other side of the veil. Persistent and consistent use of the purifying and transmuting fiery flame of freedom's love will ultimately free the life stream entirely from the accumulation of discord which has created present karma and limitation. It will also build an impregnable wall of light around the user, keeping out discord that is continually floating in the atmosphere caused by emanation of others. When perfect harmony is evident in the daily life of the individual, then it may be said that he has steadfastly used the merciful and forgiving power of God's cleansing flame. The creative centers, thought, feeling, spoken word, and action in the consciousness must be employed to mold out of the universal light the manifestations and substance they require to replace the imperfect appearance to be dissolved. Experiment with your creative faculties. Choose a simple design and mold it out of light substance. Then, when you hold its manifest form in your hands, you will have more confidence in the power of your own life energy to create and sustain your heart's desires within your own sphere of influence and in the attainment of your own individual governing power of obedient life energy. Take the motto, know, dare, do, and be silent. This makes for God success. The great God, Freedom, the Ascended Master Saint Germain, has brought forth some knowledge of the violet fire because his love is great enough to cause him to stand before the throne of God and request the opportunity to save this earth from dissolution. This boon was granted him. His answer was the gift of explaining the violet transmuting flame to mankind, whereby they might cleanse, purify, and redeem the electronic substance which they so boldly drew from the heart of the Eternal, and forced it to assume such shapes and forms as make the angels hide their faces in shame. Be eternally grateful to the Eternal Father of all life and light, who has provided man with the opportunity through the use of the violet transmuting flame of freedom's love to wipe out all the centuries' accumulation of discord from your being and world. Suggested decree. Beloved Presence of God, I am in me, and beloved Ascended Master Saint Germain, blaze your violet transmuting flame in, through, and around me now. Dissolve all creations known and unknown which have created imperfection. Replace them by God's divine plan fulfilled, here and now. What I ask for myself, I ask for all mankind. I thank thee. So be it.